Is your hair too heavy and it's just laying flat like this? This layering technique and what I'm going to explain to you is going to help you stop your hair from falling so flat and being so heavy. So first of all, you need to have layers in your hair. That's just what it comes down to. If your hair is just really heavy, it's laying flat all the time like this, you need to have layers. Now, one thing you have to understand is the longer your hair is, aka all this, the more likely your hair is going to fall flat. I can't emphasize that enough. If you have longer hair, it's going to fall flat a good amount of the time. Now, the layering technique that is designed to kind of alleviate some of that length, or that weight, I should say, is simply just a layer. Layering is what's going to help. So if you take your hair, right, and if you're gonna do this at home, you can obviously try this in the bathroom, you can try this, looking in the mirror. What you need to do is this, is take a hair cutting comb, a brush, whatever it is, and what I want you to do is I want you to comb all this hair straight out from the head. Now, hair grows out from the head. It doesn't always grow straight up, only on the top of the head it does. In the front, it grows out from the head. So your hair, and you can see this by looking up close, and you'll see the growth pattern where the hair is growing out this way. If you stretch it back, that's not natural. So if you comb your hair outwards like this, right, and you start to comb and you start to see right in through here that all of this hair on top is really long, and it's longer than the bottom here. This is the length. This is the length right here. So the very tip of that section that you're holding up is the length of your hair, which you want to keep, I'm assuming. If all of this is much longer, meaning it comes more at an angle this way, that is because your layering is not done properly and you don't have the proper layering. That means that all of that hair on top here is going to weigh it down like this. So when you're getting your hair cut, what you need to do is, one, make sure you tell your stylist or barber, and they're probably not going to want to hear this, but they need to make sure that they're layering your hair properly. And you could even say to them, look, when I comb my hair out this way, then the hair, all of this is really, really heavy. Now, if your hair doesn't grow that much forward, then here is another example, and you can see right through here. So what you want to do is cut between the length and the layers. So let's take this and let's cut this, and this is what you're going to do, is you're going to cut that section right there. So now this is going to be a lot more softer, aka not so heavy, right on top here. The next section, and you can do this on wet hair, you can do this on dry hair. I like to work on dry hair when it comes to these types of things, just simply because you're able to see immediate results. So now I'm going to comb this in through the corner, and there is the previous section you cut, which is what the guide is, and then what you're going to do is you're going to cut that section right where the guide is, so you can see, and that is what's going to help you, right? Take your next section, and what you're going to do is you're going to comb all this hair to the previous section, and you're looking, and there it is right there, as you can see, that longer hair. And then boom, you're gonna cut this straight across so that this part here is not longer than this. All that weight is weighing your hair down. Okay, so the same thing, go on the other side, the complete opposite side. And what you're going to do is you're going to comb the hair away from you. So, let me get this mannequin here. Here's the section, and now I'm going to comb this hair away and watch what's going to happen. As I comb it up, there is the hair, and there's the length. Here is the guide from before, and now we just cut that off. So here's another section right here. Push this hair out of the way because we already cut that, but make sure you take enough hair so you can see as a guide. And once again, the guide is the part that is showing you what was previously cut. So here we go, combing this straight up this way. And there it is. You can see there's the hair right there that's longer. and you're cutting straight across. Hold on to that piece as a guide. Push this out of the way by combing it. You can even clip it out of the way if you want. And now let's take this section. So now you're combing this, and what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of hair, and then there it is, okay? Now what you can do is follow this all the way to the back, section by section. And what's going to happen is as you follow this pattern, you're going to start to see all of the weight on the top of your head. And there's the guide from the previous section. And you're able to see all of this weight as you work towards the back of the head. And you can only probably go so far because of just, the angle of trying to do this yourself. But what's going to happen is as you get to the very, very back, you can try to extend this up as much as you possibly can. But the weight most of the time is in through this area. And that is why it's so heavy, is because of all of that weight up top right in this section, right all in here. So as I work this back, now you could see what's happened is I was able to keep this a bit more off the face, and now I'm able to get some more volume and texture. And if you want to cut it shorter, then it's a matter of you just going in and cutting this shorter in the front. That's really what it comes down to. If you're like, oh, you know what, I don't like this. So I would establish the length first. Then after you establish the length is when you can then go back in and do all the layering. So once again, you would start with the very, very front. And let's just say, oh, you don't like how long that is. So you cut to your desired length, all by bringing it straight down. Make sure you get these corners in through here. And then once all of this is cut, right, it's cut to your desired length, you like where everything is, then you can go back in and layer it like I just showed you by combing this a bit out from the head, and then you're going to be cutting everything on top between the length and the top layers. And what you need to do is just get really used to how the hair is flowing, how the hair is moving. Then when you're done, and especially if you're doing this on dry hair, you're able to see how the hair is then taking its own shape and creating more fullness on top. You can see already instantly it's not so heavy. Now, keep in mind, you still have all the sides to work with and blend in. So you have to make sure that you're not just cutting all the hair on top, because all this now is looking good. You still have the corners and the sides. So what you need to do is extend this out this way, and you're going to start to see the longer hair that is in the corners. And that also is what needs to be blended because, and I'm sorry, this is a mannequin head. This has gotten a little bit tangly. So what's going to happen is there's the hair in the corner. That's also adding a lot of weight to your hair. So then what you need to do is just make sure you're following this pattern all the way down to the sides and through here, so that as this hair goes back, like I just fixed it right in this one section here, you can see how that softened it all up, right in this one area, all this, because of the fact that I worked this all in. So yes, you're doing it on the top here, but make sure you're connecting this into the sides. It gets a bit more difficult when you start doing that. But if you are cutting hair for someone at home or cutting your hair for yourself and you want to get rid of that heaviness, just make sure you go through this, in like with a fine-tooth comb, literally, and just make sure you're removing all that weight and layer it properly or get it layered properly. If you can't find someone, and I get comments like this all the time, salon guy, I can't find someone to cut my hair. I tried 9 salons. Well, I wish I could help you, but maybe this video will help you understand what's happening and you can make some simple types of fixes. So if you want to purchase any of my products, you can use code YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.